rtfc.baconicecream.com.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Evercast, your weekly dose of Evercade goodness. I'm one of your hosts, Rich. We got Ed over here.
Hey.
He's ready to rock. We got the EverCanadian himself, Pete. What's going on? He's ready to rock. And then, of course, we got Crow from Crow.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready. Where's my
phone? He doesn't know. He doesn't know if he's ready.
He's the Crovacade. He had so much technical difficulties last week. I'm beginning to wonder what he's doing.
You know what happened? You know what caused it? Is like because I opened up the YouTube page for this stream and I forgot I had it open, which is why everything was doubling and repeating, and I couldn't figure it out. And I realized, I didn't close that window.
Yes. So we got all sorts of crazy stuff to talk about, but first, let's dip into this epic chat right now. We're like unbelievably Capcom time to riot. We've got quite the crowd in here. Let's rock. Let's say some hi to some people. Tripper, what's going on? We got Dan Nastic in the chat. We've got Dan Ruff in the chat. Chris Sheridan, what's going on? The Evercasting Couch, hello. How's it going? Douglas, what's going on?
That just got
Murray, what's going on? Rob Taylor, Tales from the Junland Wastes is in here. What Deeza's in here. What's going on? Congrats again.
Deeza has pizza.
She's super excited. Lloyd R. Jam is in here. Devin is in here. Got my pizza and ready for EXP talk. Yeah, send some pizza over here. I'm hungry.
I know, right?
Ernest P. Whirl is in here. Ian Hobbies, he's amped. He's like, let's go. Lamini Pie, Robert G. Murdoch. Man, it just goes on and on. Phantom Fiction, Herb Wars, Eric Downey, Ictor Orst. What's going on? Mike is in the house. Dub64, welcome. That's a new name. Amen. Hey, Amen's in here. What's going on, man? What's up? What's up? I'm neglecting my kids to watch the show today. Don't do that. And RMGB TV is in here. Oh, man. We have got a rockin' show for you. Today, we're talking, of course, the announcement of EXP bonus content and all of the fallout from here. Ernest P. Whirl beating.
He's giving us a warning.
I'm going to ban Ernest P. Whirl. Put them in timeout.
It is retro kill.
Hey,
Flash.
Quick, mute
this is a good one. This is a good quick one. Here, we'll get out of the way.
Worst thing about the show right here.
Retro KillDashNine.
Loser.
Yes.
All right.
It's our friend.
All right. There we go. Thanks, Ralph.
You said that.
Wow, he looks like a cross between RGT 85 set and Beat 'em Up set.
That's true. That's true.
Oh,
yeah,
people have the money to be able to do all that. Wow.
Go check him out. He's good.
Oh,
hey,
I've got his reaction people. You know what? That has made me. Thank you, Ryan. That has made me so happy. A lot of people they said that they weren't disappointed by my reaction and they love my scream.
I was much more reserved because I was at work, but I was still pretty pumped.
I know the rest of y'all were
about everything. It's just it's absolutely epic, and of course, we are of course talking about Capcom. What is happening? Of course, the bonus content is a epic 18 game collection built into every EXP that will be manufactured. That's just absolutely bonkers. We've all done our own little reactions, of course, but in the panel, I guess that is the news. So let's just jump in and start throwing down some thoughts, some possible concerns, some all sorts of stuff. So let's just jump in. Of course, we're also going to be talking it up with the chat, because the chat is absolutely on fire today.
I figured that was wrong. There we go.
There we go. There we go. He's in.
1 hour
He's
later.
ready. So let's jump in. Who wants to jump in first and start talking about some Capcom action? Well, I'm poking around here and finding some other things to talk about. I'm going to pull up the.
I've got a lot to say, and some things that I want to address. So for me, like, first, when I saw the announcement and I saw the word Capcom, I was blown away. And not only did they do 1 or 2 games, but they did 18 games. And what I think is great about this, and hopefully I think the majority of the community is happy. Some people are kind of like, well, it's not physical. But let me just say this: I want somebody to challenge me on this. It is technically still physical media because it's physically on the handheld. You don't have to buy it from the store. You don't even have to flash anything. It'll always.
Okay. I will.
It's the most expensive mini I've ever bought. Then, if that's the case, that's $600 mini.
I'll tell you why.
Literally every single game, even the ones you download from digital stores, are physical because you're physically putting them on your own hardware.
Oh, way to go, Crow!
But here's where I draw the line, though. The difference is that if that store goes away and you have to factory reset your handheld, those games are lost. If you have to factory reset your EXP, the games will still be there. So the waters are muddied, right? We could even argue, well, then technically nothing is physical with Evercade because they're all just ROM files and they're on a cartridge and they give the illusion.
Who cares about physical anyway? I just want to play the games. Who gives a rat's behind? Play the games. Be happy. Ugh. Jeez.
Well, really, here's the other thing.
Bunch of spoiled brats arguing about being spoiled more. It's like, whatever. Get over it. Move on.
Well, yeah. See, that's my thing. Like, let's say if they just put 1 or 2 games.
Oh wait, that's what Ed told me I had to say. Sorry.
It didn't tell you anything. But seriously, if they put 1 or 2
Ed was
games,
swearing actually before the show started. We had to calm him down. We had to give him some warm milk.
Well, I'll get into that because if they put in 1 or 2 games, it would have been underwhelming, right? So the problem is there's like a lot of the community that welcomes this, and there's some people in the community that no matter if it was nothing is going to be good enough for them. Either there's going to be too much or too little. But what people don't realize is this opens the floodgates. Like several people, on my video have made comments like, "Ooh, now is the time to get Evercade." Like, everybody's impressed Capcom. This was the big get. Maybe this is the licensing deal. Capcom wouldn't give it, on a separate cartridge. So I think this is a huge get. If we get 18 games, think about it. No matter where you go and take your handheld, you're going to get all good games. None of them suck. There's no sports titles. They're all good. You're always going to be able to play them. So I think this is fantastic and where Evercade needs to go.
It's like we won't spend a lot of time talking about some of the issues people have with it. I don't think, because I think if I look at my own comments of the videos I put out, I put out a couple of videos. 80% of all the comments, I would say, probably about 85% are very positive over this. And then there's the 15% who have legitimate questions. My community is pretty cool. They're pretty special, to be honest with you. There's no arseholes on my community. And the ones who do have feedback, I legit agree with it. Like, I think the one thing that kind of irks me about this is I wish, and I hope they find a way to put them on the VS, because a lot of people only got into Evercade for the home console. And I'd like them to be taken care of down the line and maybe get a collection or just download it there, an option. So I hope that happens one day, because they'll never play handheld. And then there's some people who only are handheld gamers will never get the VS. So I don't like the idea of splintering content between 2 legitimate systems in the same ecosystem. I think that just feels like the Series S and the Series X have the same content. So I think that's probably the only area that I have I can agree a lot with what people are saying. I think the whole argument about digital store, digital futures, all that, I think that's all a moot point, because I think Evercade and Blaze should have the right to change their business plan at any time to stay alive and stay profitable. So I've said that for 3 years now, and people have crapped all over me every time I mention it. But anyway, they can stay in business and create experiences like they are now, I'm for. So, so I think it's funny because people tend to overreact, but I think Ed said it, and we've all said it. The fact that Capcom is on board with this little 10-person company or 20-person company will probably, the Konamis, the Segas, God forbid the Activisions of the world might notice, saying,
exactly.
And money talks, right? If this does well and an extra 10,000 people buy the EXP that never would have bought it because of Capcom, hey man, more power to them.
That is exactly the point that came directly into my head after I saw all of the people talking about this particular issue. This is the light in the crack of that door that is starting to open.
So
and, if this really everyone's right. If this thing does well, Blaze they just need to blow on the door. They don't even need to kick it. It'll just flow right open if this thing goes well and sells well. I mean, and that's a benefit, right? That's a benefit that we can all.
Yeah, you want them to make money. God forbid a company this small make money. I want Ryan and Sean and Andrew and all the team over there to be like Scrooge McDuck, swimming in gold coins. So that means because they've showed they're going to put money back into their company and give us like consoles and games.
Right.
Like why begrudge them of trying to grow their company any way they see fit? Like I said, if they heaven forbid they put Evercade 2 out 3 years from now and it's a digital store on it, I'll embrace it if it means them staying in business.
That's a whole other talk, and I don't think they'll need to do that to stay in business. But
I'm just saying that's an extreme, right? Like that's the point I'm trying to make is gamers sometimes don't like, and I'm a gamer, like I've been gaming for 40 something years. Sometimes we don't like the companies we love to make too much money or be too successful sometimes because we feel like then they're not ours anymore. And we're possessive about it. Like, they're the little engine that could, right? And now they all of a sudden get too big for their britches or something. Nah, man, let them make money. Let them be successful. That's all I got to say about it. Like,
yeah,
that's always a risk. But here's another reason. So if you guys remember, it was like the last Evercast or two when Sean was on, and it's kind of funny because I asked him this direct question, like, would you do like a limited collection, like for like 10,000 units, and have like a limited cart? And they've kind of technically done that if you think about it, because they probably, again, we know nothing about these deals, but they probably went to Capcom and said, hey, we're going to sell it on these 5,000 limited edition. Can we put your game on it? Can we put your collection on it? So they probably made some type of a deal, and this is the result of it. So the other thing I want to say too with the VS, I could, let's say down the road they make a physical collection, but from a business sense, it doesn't make sense, right? Like, why would you give people something for free that they've already spent money on? Because this does factor into the cost of the XP. And I want to say that if you do love Blaze and want to support the company and you want those games to be able to play in the Evercade ecosystem, get the EXP, or don't buy them on the Switch, buy them on the PS4, because there's a small percentage of people that I saw were kind of griping about that, but it's like, why would you still support people who are investing more and spending more money in your company? So from a business sense, it doesn't make sense. I could see them doing a physical collection later on if they're allowed to, but. Okay.
Yeah, and maybe this was the thing, right? We could play, fantasy, fantasy Andrew here, right? We're sitting at the negotiation table, and Capcom's like, yeah, we got a nice little thing going over here. Here's the deal. We make the rules, and this is the thing, and you got to put it out this way, or we walk. But it's like you'll get all of these things if you say yes, or we get up and walk.
I don't think you walk on Capcom when you're this small company trying to grow a system. You'd be nuts. Like, I would question their sanity and probably stop even talking about Evercade if I found out they turned down a deal with Capcom for 18. There's no bad games in there.
But that's it,
legit.
Right? We're going to get into that in a little bit. We're going to talk about those games, right?
See, now if they did this, awesome. that would have been disgusting. If they said only the people with the limited edition get it, that would have been gross. But
that's
but yeah,
funny,
guys,
right?
this is a big win. Capcom is so should be nostalgic for everybody. Really, there should be no complaints on this. Everybody should be happy. Everybody's think about all those hundreds of posts we see. I want this collection. I want that. When are we going to get a Capcom or Konami? And don't forget, we already have digital content on the VS with the unlock and hidden games. So again, gamers are silly people. That's all.
Let me ask this question though. You think that maybe that it wound up being a digital collection on the handheld, built into the handheld, is because the licensing was very similar to that of Namco's, where it had to be on the handheld,
ding, 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 ding.
Or they couldn't even put it on a cartridge. Maybe it just had to be digital.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't forget it is bonus content too. I think that's what else people forget.
Yeah, and Capcom is famous for, even when they do physical collections on the Switch, that only 1 or 2 of them are actually on the collection. The rest are digital. So they're, they tend to make you download all their physical digital games anyway.
I mean, if you notice at the end of that trailer was like an advertisement for that Capcom Stadium, and I believe you have to buy all the games individually for that.
Yeah, you got to go through it just like the first one. That is awful experience being.
And you guys didn't want the free bus stop? Sorry, that was hilarious. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but yeah. So you guys, we should I think honestly we should just talk about the games, right?
Yeah, let's get into it. Man.
Unless we got more to say on this topic. I mean, I think no one's really truly wrong and no one's truly right. Just make a decision for yourself if you're going to buy it or not. That's all. We're the wrong people to give you advice. We should never give advice anyway, but
we're the absolute right people.
Yeah,
We're
it's not like we're giving advice, we're giving opinions, right? We're the guys that we're on our little, our 4 little soapboxes talking about how we feel about stuff, and we're grateful that you guys are all here listening to it. But this is how we feel. I mean, again, overwhelming positive. I just want to go back to this comment by Mike. When else have you pre-ordered a console, right? To find out, oh yeah, we're gonna get, there's gonna be some cool things that happening, and you go to your, your local game store, or you're watching, whatever, news outlet talking about the launch, and they're like, oh yeah, we added this cool thing in. It's like, like a cover for your controller or whatever. What other companies like? Oh yeah, by the way, here's 18 more games baked into the console. Like what?
The only people that have pre-ordered so far were the people that pre-ordered the Founders. Everybody else hasn't started pre-ordering yet.
That's true.
That's true. But what I'm trying to,
what I mean.
But
usually on the limited, though, what you're getting,
dude.
Right? Yeah, they give you all of those bonuses right up front, and then to find out later after you've pre-ordered the Founders, you're like, now we get another 18 games.
Oh, we didn't know we were getting bonus, but not like this. This is not bonus content. This is mega. Think about it. How fast would the 5,000 black ones sold out if they would have said Capcom was on that? It would have been gone in an hour probably.
But they didn't need to though.
Whenever you ever heard a console put 18 pack-in games?
Usually it's one of those built-in plug-and-play games.
Yeah, I know, but this is not that. This is not a mini console. That's a cartridge slot. I know. New games, right? So if anybody says, "Oh, the NES Mini or the SNES Mini or whatever," but this is not that, right? But I mean, 18 pack-ins,
it's not like you can. Those things you can't add more games. You can't plug in and play more games.
Let's put it this way: you could just have pre-ordered and gotten that with the built-in games, and then the card it comes with, and not have to buy anything for a while and be entertained. It's worth it just for that.
18 freaking games, and they're not crap. That's what people need to understand. It's like, get over all the other drama.
The regular EXP, does that come bundled with a cartridge or no?
Yeah.
It comes with Iron.
You're getting it built. You're getting that built into the handheld, and you're getting another collection.
Iron. Yep.
And that's enough.
And even IRAM is like just full of in my opinion, those upper shelf retro titles that people know. Like you can say R-Type, and people, oh yeah, I remember that game. You can say Moon Patrol, and people, oh yeah, I remember that game. It's a really good. It's a really good package, and with the addition of Capcom, it really just puts it over the top, especially for me. And Breath of Fire getting an RPG built into the console,
got fighters, got shooters.
I was only expecting arcade games. I was not.
I know. That's what I was gonna. I think it's great that we get that in some Mega Mans, and we.
Yeah, I like the idea of 4 consoles because let's be honest, Evercade is not an arcade-only machine; it's a console. So I'm glad to get 4 console games, and 30 hours to finish Breath of Fire, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a pretty chunky game, right? I've never played it, so
I think we all own some version and have another way to play Mega Man 1 or 2. But I'm excited to have that. Always there.
Well, dude, because somebody said it.
All right, let's look at that trailer. I'm getting excited to see that trailer again. Even though I found that it was hard to figure out what games were included. It was so messy looking, that trailer at certain points.
They didn't.
I'm going to find the file. Give me a second.
They didn't announce the release date before, did they?
Music coming from.
They said it will come out November 24th.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's November 24th release date. Now that's for the white one. When is the black one?
Something?
We should ask Ryan or Sean if the black one's coming on 24th. I would assume it is too, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume it would come out in the
Oh
same
yeah,
day
we
earlier.
haven't even talked about that. They met the release date thanks to Ian Hobbies. He kind of
Yeah, I was looking at it, I was like, they didn't announce that
12.
before.
There we go. All right, turn that on.
Thank you.
this dude's awesome.
This was cool.
He was the
Who
same
is this
actor.
guy anyway? Is he the actor?
It was in the VS. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, is this somebody? I mean, is this somebody at Blaze?
I can't believe he has no protector or no case for his EXP.
He did have a case. It was that entire backpack.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only thing in the
Makes me
backpack.
happy again. Woo! God, y'all.
Man,
Yeah, I thought that maybe they would only include games that would take advantage of the Tate mode. to be
I know,
honest.
right?
right. Well, yeah, you figure, like that would be a thing. But I mean, when I saw all of this stuff, it's just like, oh, like,
And then the best. Our faces are gonna block it, but that Evercade for the license plate. That was.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
I
Yeah,
never
let's move
noticed
on to
that.
the-
I think by this point of the video, I was like,
Here we
"Oh,
go.
it's over," and I was
Yes.
like already looking somewhere else.
Yeah.
Dude, that was awesome. I love that. Was see, and here's the other. So I think here's the other reason why they went with Capcom. Not only because yes, it's a banger of a collection, but I want to say most of us gamers, like the big three, were like we're Capcom, Konami, and then like SquareSoft, Enix, like growing up. And so this should be like nostalgic to everybody. Like you can
Yeah.
relate to this.
I mean, just
I love
trying to
games,
like
man.
trying to find different like screen caps or screen gaps here. Like, oh man,
And you know what? I never
this just
played
gets
Breath
me
of Fire
pumped right
1.
here.
It was hard to
Oh.
find growing up. Like I
It
played
really
the
was.
sequel.
Yeah, it was their first dip in the water, really, for like some kind of like action RPG kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it was such a great game. It really was. It really
Can't
was awesome. It's Mega Man. You got and all these different arcade games that
Yes.
like some of them. What is it now? Five in the collection play in Tate. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. And you get a little, you get a little screenshot right there.
Yeah.
I think that's 1942 playing in Tate. So that's
That is 1942 for sure.
so. But
And
that's
what was funny was when I saw that there were Capcom games, I was like, I thought one of them was 1942 because 1942 is always one of them.
It has to be. It has to be by Capcom law. Dude, we get Final Fight. I mean,
Final
that's.
Fight is in there. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's just awesome.
And then that other game,
There's Haggard
Well,
just
that
dropping.
world is questionable because that arcade game originally used a spinner to aim.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that
Yeah,
game might
you
be
get-
beatable with save states.
Yeah. Well, and then you've got Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yes.
Notorious. It's the
Actually-
arcade version, so
It's a sequel to Ghosts and Goblins, so I wonder why we get that one instead of Ghosts and Goblins.
yeah, you never know. I mean, I guess you never know.
There's Captain Commando.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then what else is there?
That's Bionic Commando.
Bionic
Yeah.
It's funny.
Commando.
It's got Commando, Bionic Commando, Captain Commando,
Yeah, and they're all different games, right?
Strider.
Strider. That's
Strider's a
huge.
huge one. Strider's
Yeah.
a great game.
Strider's a huge one. I mean, this whole collection is just
I mean,
Yeah,
Commando is probably the best of the Commandos on there.
yeah.
The first one. I love Commando.
Yeah, like Pete said, there's not one bad game on it.
Personally, I
Vulgus is the only
Commandos,
one
I
I've
think-
never played. I don't think I've ever played Vulgus and Breath of Fire. Those are two I haven't played.
Okay.
There you go. There's another good shot of Bionic Commando.
Dude, I can't believe we
So I
got
didn't
that.
really start getting into RPGs until like the PlayStation era, but I
Oh,
did
wow.
play like
I never
Final
got into them until the Evercade.
I did get Final Fantasy 2 and 3, but I never really played them a whole lot. It wasn't until like PlayStation.
Dude. I've been into them since Nintendo, but Super Nintendo really.
But like
No,
Street Fighter,
I didn't like them back then. I actually only got into those 16-bit RPGs and 8-bits and when the Evercade came out. I was more of a sports gamer, action gamer back then.
Yeah.
but Street Fighter, although I'm kind of glad they included it, I mean, because there's so many games,
Yeah.
it's questionable because you're on a handheld and you're not going to be able to play against the second player.
Yeah,
That's
but
fine.
I played majority of mine.
Back in the day. Yeah, like you include this game. It's like like you have to add the ... But are you going to be able to play?
Well, I mean, if it was only 4 games and this was one of them, I'd question it. Since it's 18,
but it's Street Fighter. Like,
you got to do that, dude.
Like, there's no way. I mean, I guess they did put that other Fighter's History on the other collection before the VS came out.
Yeah.
Well,
but like when I played Street Fighter, the most was on the Super Nintendo because we didn't have it at our local arcade. So I played it, and I'd say probably 50-50 single player and multiplayer.
Wait a minute, your local arcade didn't have Street Fighter 2?
We didn't have a local arcade at that time.
We clicked out at the same time.
You didn't have a local arcade. That makes sense.
Dude, Crow, I grew up in a village of 500 people, dude.
It sounded like you said your local arcade didn't have Street Fighter 2.
Yeah. I mean, and single player Street Fighter is better than no Street Fighter.
Exactly.
But, like,
don't ever pick on single player gaming. Hello. This day and age, more single player gaming is being done than multiplayer. And a lot of
Ryan keeps saying this, right? Ryan keeps saying this, right?
Yeah, I've heard him.
They're working on a solution that involves a VS.
Yeah.
And if it involves the VS, there's your multiplayer. Yeah, right.
Yeah, Caesar got it right. Great Battle Saga got me into RPGs.
Is that going to be the official box?
Yeah. I think that is the. I think that is the.
We're turning into the view. We're
like
having a conversation.
The colors on the side. I don't know why. I just like that. It's very striking. With the
I think it's really cool. Yeah, that would look cool on a shelf, right?
What's that?
The package.
The box.
Oh, yeah, for the white one. Yeah, the white one looks sick, man.
Oh yeah, we see the box.
Are you guys getting a white one?
I kind of
you guys got the black one, right?
Yeah,
I went
edition, of course.
I'm tempted to get the white one anyway.
I'm getting the white one because that's the one I want for my main. I think the white one's a lot sexier than the black one.
I'll agree.
It really does look cool.
I do like the white one more.
The white one just looks everything pops.
Normally,
everyone always says that the white one's better. I'm like,
normally I like black better, which is why I went with the black shell for this. But
it'll show more fingerprints. But I want it to match.
I think the black is cool. Don't get me wrong. I just think I don't know. I just like a look at the white one. The white one looks more premium to me for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb.
It reminds me of when the DS Lite, when I bought the DS Lite.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, my first the DS Lite, I had the white one too. My first DS was a blue one. Was it blue? I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I have. I think I have it over here.
But DS, mine was silver, I think.
Actually, speaking of premium, I don't know if you guys saw like IGN put out a video where they got their hands on the prototype of this, and they said that like it feels very premium. It's weighted well in both normal.
Well, no, they said the weighting felt a little bit off. That because it was a prototype, right? Like they did mention the weight wasn't final.
It's good.
But overall, IGN was very positive, kind of weirdly positive, because usually they're a bunch of, nitpickies. But
yeah.
But they did say the weight. That's my only concern on Tate mode, to be honest with you, is the weight. But to be honest with you guys, like I said from the beginning, I don't know how much Tate mode I'm going to be playing. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm not too concerned about that, to be honest with you. And plus, Tate mode, you only get 5 minutes on a game before you're dead anyway. Let's be honest. Those vertical shoot-'em-ups are hard.
No,
that's safe states.
I'll tell you why that I have a lot of confidence in Blaze, like more so than let's say like a faceless EA or something else. It's because like Andrew and Ryan and Sean, they're all gamers. They're not just some like faceless corporate minions. Like they understand what a gamer wants, and so they're going to make sure like with everything else Evercade that it fits, right? That it's going to be good. So I think it's going to be fine. I mean, we won't know until we get into our hands, but I think it's going to be fine. See, wait's fine.
For sure. Yeah, wait's fine.
Oh, Sean showed up. You not watching F1?
Oh yeah. He's hanging in there. But
yeah, the packaging looks sexy.
I mean, let's talk about the other thing too, right? They announced the release date of this thing.
Yeah.
I was talking about Capcom. I was like, we're gonna get this thing this year.
Yeah, actually, funny. I didn't notice it. I only noticed it when I looked at the webpage.
But the last time they announced something in November, we didn't get it until January.
All right.
Yeah, but how long ago did they announce that?
Because there's some captain out there that's going to screw up the Suez Canal again.
Yeah, well,
But
the world is a finicky place.
But listen, the one thing that Blaze is great at is they sort out their logistic issues, right? So I think they learned their mistakes from the VS. That's how I looked at it. Like, you know, they got everything sorted out. They're good.
Yeah,
I don't think that
I would
was
say, yeah.
That was the captain jamming up the Suez Canal for 6 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
It was all
So,
I don't know if you guys noticed, but and this is, I think, an interesting part of the community. Some people were wishing that it kind of had like the red and all that. I don't know. I like the modern look of the device. I don't miss that at all.
I'm okay with it not having red, to be honest with you. I wanted to die with the OG one.
I don't know. I like the red. I like the red. It's like racing stripes.
It is cool. I mean, I'm always gonna love this design. I'm always gonna love it. But I mean, when I look at the EXP, and the more I look at it, the more I'm like, if I'm on a bus or somewhere like that, someone's gonna look at that thing and ask me what that is. You know, like, and I don't know if I felt that same way about the Evercade, because like they'll look at it and be like, oh, well, you have, you know, like one of those retro handhelds, right? But when you look at the EXP, it looks like it might do more. You know what I mean? Like it has that look that it's like more of a, you know, personal entertainment device than maybe just a game console. So people might be a little more intrigued. You know, and maybe that's why they did that. So
if your VS console is talking to you, you've got
the Knight Rider Star for the yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome though?
It would be cool if it talked to you.
Screwed up.
But
Hello there.
Yeah, you know, so yeah, November 24th, and yeah, those of us that were lucky to pre-order the Founders, we're already in on this ride, but everyone else gets to jump in next Tuesday.
Where are you guys pre-ordering from if you get the white one?
Amazon.
Funstock or VGP?
I would do VGP all the way.
Yeah.
Funstock.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, man. It feels like Funstock is like got their crap in order now, and they're getting stuff out so fast.
Yeah, I mean, well, and maybe it's just because I got that East Coast like shipping luck.
Well, even remember the last couple times I got
to dock and then go somewhere else.
I get stuff faster from Canada. Plus like shipping is really cheap, and you know.
Yeah, last time though, Funstock, I got it before you, Rich. They really fixed shipping to Canada.
That is very true. Yeah, you did. You got it like 2 or 3 days before me. Yeah. So
we'll see. I don't know. I think I'm going to be like probably VGP, to be honest with you, because I like supporting local. To be honest, local as in same country, but they're 2,500 miles away.
On VGP though, Brad, sometimes they put up the SKU early as like a placeholder, and it'll automatically say sold out. But then the refresh day of, it'll actually be available. Yeah,
it's wish list. Trust me. They sent an email out to anybody who's a member of VGP as an account, and they just said it's a wish list. So add it to your wish list. Server goes live, you'll get an email.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Not that
like VGP is the main distributor in Canada. Oh crap! I forgot to take a picture, but when I was on vacation, I was over on Victoria. It's the capital of our province. And I went into a store and I was doing some retro shopping, and they were selling Evercades.
Ooh.
Nice.
And they had a pile of them there. And I didn't take, next time I go over, because it's only a 2-hour ferry ride, I'm going to get a video and talk to the owner and get some kind of idea, like reason why he decided to get on Evercade. Because when I was talking to one of the workers there, they said the owner is a big supporter of it, and they've been doing okay with it. So yeah. I want to talk to him next time I go back. So,
dude, that's awesome.
To see it out in a while. First time I've ever seen it being sold at one of the biggest game stores in British Columbia. So it's
nice,
cool.
Dude. That's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah,
that'd be funny. It'd be like
to grow, man.
Seeing an Evercade in a retail store before seeing a PS5 in a real retail store.
Yeah, I know. I've never seen a PS5. I've never seen a Series X in a retail store.
Yeah. Actually, last week was the first time I saw the S and the Series X in a Walmart last week, which was the first time I ever saw the X in the store.
I haven't seen either. I haven't seen any of those 3 consoles in the wild in a box, other than the one that I had to wait in a line for.
Thank you for the love, Douglas. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thanks. And again, thanks for
Douglas,
tuning in and being a part of this awesome community.
Dude, that's why we do YouTube, when you get comments and people appreciate everything.
Money. I did
it's like I'm a mercenary.
Actually,
glory. That's what I do. Don't you know?
I was making videos before I was posting them to YouTube. I just like
Crow's channel used to be so much bigger than Metal Jesus.
Well, the first time Metal Jesus commented on my channel, I think he had like 500 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
very cool.
That's really cool.
Crow, you should have changed your name back then and got rid of Crow and called you Sid. Put in a biblical reference and maybe you would.
Well, actually, back then my channel name was I think it was like Crow with the 4 O's and a W and 3 exclamation points.
Yeah, that's really easy to search for.
No, yeah, branding's important.
Your SEO is having a bad day.
Before it was that, it was the same thing except with ones at the end,
That's
which
awesome.
I called shift list exclamation points.
That's awesome.
The other thing I want to say,
GameStop should be all over this. Like, I don't know why GameStop's not selling this.
That's true.
GameStop is
Everything else
GameStop.
now besides video games.
Yeah, I mean, they sell video. They're physical.
The games is the least of their merchandise now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I've been in my local. Like, it's sometimes it's sad looking in there. I don't want to get on the soapbox about that.
Our GameStop has got tons of other stuff like toys,
Yeah.
clothing. It's like,
but then you have like pictures of games. I feel like I'm walking into a Toys R Us.
oh yeah,
Remember you get the ticket?
It's really funny whenever I go into the GameStop.
to the checkout. Please let them have this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to the GameStop. I'm like, I wonder what Funko Pops they have.
Yeah, right.
Not looking at the games at all.
Yeah, they got walls of Funko.
It's
But Funko's gone down like this. Like, it feels like the fever around Funko is not nearly what it was like 5 years ago.
no.
Yeah. I mean,
GameStop has got less and less of them. Toys R Us also.
that's true.
But what I was going to say, video games plus two, the cool thing is you get like credit,
Yeah.
like when you buy stuff. And I just want to say from my personal experience, like their customer service is excellent. They respond, fast, free, or really cheap. I mean, get whatever. I mean, if I lived in the UK, I would go with Fun Stock. But if you live like in the US or other countries, you could, go with whoever.
Yeah.
I wanted to get on my soapbox about Amazon.
Ed, I'm surprised you don't use Songbird.
Because they charge way too much for shipping for what it is, in my opinion.
Oh, they're like limited run scammers.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like if you're paying $20 for a cart and you charge $7.50 for, to me that's, I'm like, really? Versus VGA is for, and I don't know, they're a bigger company. They just seem more, like I said, I've never had anything go wrong.
Yeah,
with
VGP is amazing. I started using them many years ago. I think I told Ed about them. I'm like,
yes,
and
I learned about them from you.
Favor and
Yes,
free shipping if you use your points. Like, I get free shipping anytime because if you pay more than $40 or $50, you get free shipping. So
yeah. You're like, dude, that's who I use, and so I start. The only time I go to Fun Stock, to be honest, if there's exclusives that I can't get anywhere else. Yeah.
Oh, Douglas is a fan of Crow with his Amazon.
Oh yeah.
Amazon screwed me over too many times.
Yeah, well, he's Crow is the anti-Peggy.
Yeah.
When I discovered that the games I bought
who is an
Amazon
anti-Peggy?
had no Peggy label, I was like, okay, this is it.
I don't have an anti-Peggy.
That's the best. I'm all the way the other way because it's like I got the first 10 and they all had it, and I'm like, well, I can't have one that has no Peggy rating, so I just have to. I'm married to the Peggy rating.
I got a mix of both.
Wow, we already got 50 people watching. Come on, let's get more people. More people.
That's it. Yeah, go tell 18 friends and then come on over. We'll just chat up.
Listen,
I don't like any rating system stamped on the front of the box.
I was going to say, hey, unlike Crow, I'm not a Peggy-cist, so I don't care if it's Peggy or not Peggy.
I don't really care either, to be honest with you. Somebody talked about, I saw a video or an image where the people are complaining about the color of the burgundy on the Evercade cartridges keep changing, like they're different versions.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's off by a little bit, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, man, they're right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm going to do a video how outraged I am. And then I kind of slapped myself in the face and said, what are you, nuts?
You know what? I'm not going to say any names, but there's a certain YouTuber who will make Evercade videos that does that because they like to cause drama, and I stopped watching them. So good. I'm glad you who cares? Who cares?
It's all good.
Yeah.
It was just funny. Like, I'm like, wow, I never noticed that. Now I can't not notice it. I'm like, but I like it. I kind of switched my tune on it. The Nintendo Switches drove me nuts with the all red collections.
Yeah.
Like, I miss the days when the spines were different and it was like up to the.
You know what's funny? In Europe though, all the spines for like the PlayStation 2 games and everything were all exactly the same. They were white with black text.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? You know what it reminds me of? Because I'm looking at my collection right now. I swear to God, I know the kids here won't understand this, but older folks like us might. It reminds me of my set of encyclopedias I used to have when I was a kid. where they'd all be the same color, and then the yearbook would be a different color. So I got all burgundy and the purple arcade.
Actually, I had the Charlie Brown Cyclopedia, so they were all different colors.
I had the Merit one, and they were all like burgundy, and then the yearbooks was blue. So literally, I got my encyclopedia of games. Boom.
Yeah. So let's jump into this list, like and just kind of like bask in the onslaught of games here. So right off the bat, four in the 1940 series, 1942, 1943, 1944, the Loop Master, all arcade versions.
I haven't played 44. That's the other one I haven't played. I haven't played the Loop Master, so 42 and 40, obviously 43.
Well, what's funny though, what's missing is 1941, because I think that came out
1945. And
1945, but I think 41 should comes in between 43 and 44 in terms of chronological.
Yeah. 43 is 1943 by far. I played it on the NES. That's how I played it. Majority. The arcade version's awesome. I think it's the best vertical shooter of all time, in my opinion.
So guys, here's something that we've forgotten about. Remember, like on the last show, we were talking about like it would be cool for there to be leaderboards and stuff. Like on the Capcom Coliseum collections on PS4 and everything else, that's built in. What if this is the first collection that has online leaderboards too? What if they are able to use like Capcom's like backend? Like all these games would fit that. Well, the arcade ones would.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah.
But I can't stand leaderboards because I suck at games, so I would never be on the leaderboard. So I'm okay.
You say that, and then you'll see my name on number 10, and then you'll like no, and then you'll be like number 9, and then you'll have to beat me.
No, I'm not competitive that way. Only on skates. That's the only time I'm competitive. But yeah. Anyway, Crow, Ed, back to you. Keep going through the list, bud.
So then we have after the 1944, we got the Bionic Commando. Oh, that is so awesome.
Yeah, and the arcade version is pretty cool.
Which is different than the NES version.
Yeah.
What are the differences of it? Because I can't remember, Crow.
It was it's basically the same plot, but like all the levels are different. It was basically designed entirely different.
Yeah.
The arcade version of that game is actually a Tate mode game, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Dude.
And so is Contra. Contra is a Tate mode game in the arcade.
Yeah.
That's true. Yep.
I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're right, because on the Contra collection on a Switch, it's got that screen, the screen mode.
God, Ernest.
I think.
But yeah, a lot of arcade games, when they ported them to the NES, they changed them significantly to make them more appealing for the home console market, to get rid of the arcade like difficulty and stuff.
Nice. We get regular Commando, and one thing I wanted to point out that I will say, we unlike the Genesis Mini that's coming out, that's going to be the Sega CD version of Final Fight, we get the best version, the arcade version. So that makes me very happy.
Yeah, that is cool. That is cool. I mean, and I'm looking forward to playing Commando.
Final Fight or Streets of Rage, in your opinion?
What's up with Final Fight, Pete?
What's better, Streets of Rage or Final Fight? Which one do you guys like better?
Well, to be honest, I played more Final Fight way more than Streets of Rage, but so I can't really choose because I really haven't played either one of them equally. So
that's a tough question, because like if you're comparing like any console version of Final Fight versus Streets of Rage, I think Streets of Rage wins hands down. But the arcade version, that's tough. That is tough. That's a tough choice. I'll have to think on
playing
that.
a lot more Final Fight in the arcade than I did anywhere else. But yeah, as soon as I went over to a buddy's house, it was always Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But yeah, I know that's pretty good. And it's great. I mean, another this is now a classic beat 'em up, right? We have a lot of beat 'em ups that are like these are like Final Fight. These are like Streets of Rage. They're kind of cool. I still think.
What does that mean? What's Mega Man X? What's the difference with the 1-1 version? Like, is it better or improved?
How did they get a 1-1 version? Because it was on the Super Nintendo.
What does that mean? Or
the 1-1 version?
Yeah. What is the 1-1
version? Did they release
a
special version on an updated cart? Anyway,
cool.
Elaborate more on that, Ryan. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah. What was the difference?
I don't know. Whatever.
But yeah, I mean, so I would totally be playing, some more of these beat 'em ups here, getting into Final Fight. There's different gameplay differences. Okay.
Like what?
But like I don't get that though. Like, did Capcom actually have 2 different Super Nintendo carts back in the day? Like, or is this a ROM hack?
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll keep going.
Yeah, we'll see. So Forgotten Worlds, which is it's a pretty awesome arcade game. I remember playing that every once in a while in the local, which is awesome. Ghouls and Ghosts, it's classic. The arcade version is brutal, but it's gonna be that's awesome. I think
Dan gave the answer. 1 is the common digital re-release version. 1.1 is touched up a bit and actually a bit easier. Sweet,
nice,
complete.
Man, Dan,
thank you, Dan.
Swedish knowledge.
Very cool. Thanks, Dan. That's awesome. And then Legendary Wings, another cool one. Mercs. That's
awesome. That's a big get.
You see that in the arcades a lot.
Mercs is a big get. That game is amazingly fun.
Yeah, it is really cool.
And it's fair in the arcade. Like, you can finish it if you're good without spending like $20 on it. It's a very fair game.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
Mercs is probably one of the games I'm least familiar with on this list, to be honest.
Yeah. I've played that.
You'll probably hate
a bunch.
Dude.
Yeah.
Check this out. Breast of Font. There's a Canoe custom font fix. It's super hard to read.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice. Very
Oh,
cool.
the GBA is a more powerful system, so I like the GBA version over the SNES version. That's awesome. Oh, I'm gonna get hate because I said SNES.
That's awesome, though.
Yes, and yes, Pete.
They've optimized the nuts out of the collection.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very awesome. That's really, really cool. And of course, it's Ryan. He's always under the hood doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Not Super, but Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting.
Which is Turbo, right? In the US.
Is it?
There was a Hyper Fighting cabinet in the US.
It was called Turbo in Canada. I'm pretty sure it was called Turbo.
I think they're all separate versions.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah.
No,
There's
I think
5 versions in the arcade.
I don't know, Ryan will.
I think that's the version where you can be all the bosses like M. Bison or Vega, but it's not the one.
That started with Championship Edition, which was actually the second version to combat against all the hacks that were coming out.
And this is like the third.
Turbo.
Yeah, this is
it
like
started with Championship Edition.
Yeah, that's not the good Championship Edition. Turbo, and I found Turbo the best version of it myself personally, but.
You don't get the new characters like Cammy and like Fei Long, but that's fine though. That's
okay. Hyper is different than Turbo. I don't know.
Here's the versions.
Yeah, it is called Turbo in different regions. So who's right? Ryan or Retro Dude?
Well, we got Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So was there a Street Fighter 2 Turbo?
I think so. Yes. I'm not sure though. I'm out of my element when talking of the arcade versions.
Yep.
Okay, I think you're right. But where was it called Hyper Fighting?
In England, in Europe.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying before the extra character. It's like a sped up championship version, basically.
Yeah, Turbo, they sped a crap out of it, right? Like even on the Super Nintendo, it was sped up really, like it was hyper. Diza, most people say SNES, and they get mad if they hear certain people say SNES or NES. They say SNES. I think it's ridiculous. I don't care. You know what? From now on, I'm saying Tate mode. Screw y'all.
Tate mode.
People that get mad when you say Merry Xmas.
Yeah. It's like some people would call it Evercade VS.
I got
Evercade
in trouble
versus.
At work 4 years ago by wishing people Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
and I was called into HR, but not 4 years ago, 8 years ago, and they said you can't say that. You're supposed to say Happy Holidays. And I said, well, I'm a devout religious man, and now you're offending my religious beliefs. So then I got a week paid off vacation and awesome.
Hey, that only happens in Canada. That would not happen here in the
US. No, that would happen here. That would definitely happen here as well.
I guess now you've offended me.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, just
anyway.
Anyway, let's not get. Yeah. I'm sorry I brought religion into the show.
It's all good.
I'll never do.
So Strider, that's the next. Oh, dude,
Strider's the next one.
Now,
that's a huge get.
Strider on my PS1. It's amazing.
That's super nostalgic.
Strider 2.
Arcade.
Strider 2.
And has anyone played Vulgus? Does
Nope.
anyone know what that game
I
is?
played it. I recognized the game when I saw it, but I couldn't remember the name of it. So I played it a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, I think this might have been like the one that's like, you know, if there was any kind of like blazeness in this list, you know, Vogus would be the one because you're like, wait, what's this one?
Yeah,
and then you know you're intrigued and you want to play it, right?
You know what's funny is like when you looked at the video and they were scrolling through all of the box art, they left two off. There was one more row that they didn't show, and it was Mercs and Vulgus.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to playing that one because I've never experienced it. And then of course you get the mini Mega Man collection in the last four, Mega Man 1, 2, and X. Which I mean, if you're picking them, me personally, I know you want to have Mega Man 1 because it's the first time you're introducing Mega Man to the thing, so of course you include 1. But if it was me, I would have done 2, 3, and X. But that's just me.
Honestly,
Pete said it's true, by the way. No.
Isn't Mega Man 2 like the hardest of the NES Mega Mans? I know there's one section in the game, Mega Man 2, where you have to blow away certain blocks, but you only have exactly enough shots to get rid of all of them. So if you miss one of them, you're going to run out of time and die, I think, because you can't get past that section.
Dude, Mega Man,
it's brutal.
I'll have to go more into it. Mega Man 2 holds a special place in my heart. Let's just say if I was a teenager and I was going to do speedrunning, Mega Man 2 would be that, because there was like a point in time where I could go any boss, any level, and like beat the game without dying on difficult. Those days of long past me.
I got a funny story about Mega Man 2 though. Is that I borrowed the game from somebody and I used my Game Genie to play through it. But the thing was that with the Game Genie code, it messed up the music. So I played through the entire game with messed up music.
Oh, wow. Really?
I'll be summoned in your nightmares. Wow, that's weird, man. Well, see, the other thing, too, Mega Man 2 has, and I think I forget where I saw, it has, one of the top best 10 endings of all time, on the Nintendo.
Oh, Mega Man 2?
Yeah. It's really good.
I mean, it's really just iconic, right? I mean, it's a lot of people's favorites. Between in the first 6, it's between 2 and 3 that people go back and forth with. But I would say the lion's share, maybe even just by a hair, is Mega Man. Is Mega Man 2, right? As being the
2 or 3 are usually people's favorites.
Right.
Put up this comment, Baron of Nowhere.
Yeah.
All right.
Which one?
Well, if anyone can explain why some would want an Evercade over a Switch, go for it. Well, okay, community.
We have enough time.
Yeah, right. Even yeah, that's it.
Because I'll say it, because Evercade does what Nintendo don't.
Yeah, but that's the wrong question to ask. Like,
that's not exactly the right answer.
Yeah, there's no way to answer that because it's personal preference. It's people who want to play simpler games, nostalgic games. They want to have physical. They want to be in a community of like-minded people. Whereas the Switch is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, Nintendo sucks, but the Switch is a fantastic ecosystem. But it's different. It is modern gaming that has retro games. It is a ocean of a community. Whereas Evercade is a smaller community getting bigger every day, but it's focused. It's a very focused community. So that question can't be answered by anyone here.
But it's a serious question.
If you forget about community and all that, the Evercade is smaller than the Switch.
And Baron, I'm treating it as a serious question. I am. It is a serious question, but I don't believe any answer we give will answer it for everyone. Because
it is
you
different.
Have to judge for yourself.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if you want to be a part of this community, you want to play the games available. You want to have that, be in that ecosystem, just like you made the choice to buy the Switch or the Xbox or the PlayStation or the Genesis or whatever back in the day, right? I don't think we can answer it to anybody's liking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think and maybe there isn't a right answer, right? Because it doesn't matter, right? They exist, right? The Switch exists, the Evercade exists, the PlayStation exists.
You got a legit answer. Right? You can call that strange, but Pete legitimately answered your question. So
it doesn't matter.
Games on the Evercade are going to wind up costing less than games on the Switch in the long run because you're buying collections of games for $20.
Right.
But the Switch games, you're going to get more in-depth games, more modern games, but you're going to be paying a lot more for them. So it depends on really what you want.
Yeah.
See? Exactly. He did it. He did explain it very well.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I mean,
to me, it's like a great question. I think majority of people who aren't with the Evercade probably ask the same thing. If I see a $200 Switch Lite or $250 Switch Lite, and I see and I'm talking Canadian prices, or $300 Switch Lite in Canadian prices, and a $200 Evercade, they're going to ask that question: what do I get in that system? And I think go out, get on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, wherever. Search about the Evercade, find out a bit more about the system, the community, the games, and if there's a match, there's a match, and if not, there's other options out there for you.
It's not the only reason. He was giving an aspect. I think when this is done, I think you need to rewatch and listen more closely to what Pete said. That's a reason. Stop it.
Yeah, well, but engage too. Like engage the rest of the community. You'll find out. You know, because everyone's got a reason for being here, right?
Hey, Rich.
Like, for me though, like 100%. Yeah, and I got it. For 100%, the reason for me, I now will bang this drum every day, all day long. Like for me, it's all about discovery, right? Blaze doing an awesome job curating all of these games to show them to me, right? In a limited fashion. Here I have this collection of like 20 or 30, not 20,000, right? Like on the Switch store, you'll never find them. Like here, we've carved out these slices for you, and just play around, dabble in them, right? And they're cheap, right?
We've been infiltrated.
Yep. But not yet. I understand where you're going, Ed, and I completely understand. But just wait.
Okay. So you're aware.
So yes, I am aware.
Okay. Just making sure. Yep. Carry on.
So, but it's about that for me, right? It is about like being shown all of these things, and then in the same angle, celebrating some of the coolest things that were from my childhood, right? Something like this announcement here with this Capcom collection going to be on the EXP. That's a celebration of all of the things that I used to play all the time with my friends, right, and my family. It's just an awesome thing to be a part of. But the reason I like the Evercade is because of all that other stuff, all the indie games that they keep showing me that are just, I would have never thought to play. You play some, and some of them are amazing experiences, and then games that you forgot, right? Games that were on the shelf and you're like, oh, that box art looked cool, but you never bought it. And then all these years later, you're playing them again, right? It's the discovery. And that's what brings every day. You ask me what Evercade means to me, and it means discovery, and then period, done, end of story. That's me, So, but before we hit another button, I just got to say, the last game on the list, Breath of Fire, is just it's like the basketball player coming in from the key with the ball, just jamming it into the hoop. That's such a slam dunk. Awesome.
You gotta have an RPG.
And it's built in. You get a built-in RPG. It'll always be with you. You never have to worry about it. And it's a great one. It's not just like, oh, hey, here's this cool RPG no one's ever heard of. It's Breath of Fire, which is an awesome experience.
I'm trying to think of what games from Capcom could have been put on this that would have been bad. What bad games has Capcom made?
I mean, there really isn't.
There isn't.
In this era, they were kind of the kings, right?
Yeah.
That's
why Capcom, Konami, Squaresoft, that's why all those games prices are through the roof.
Yeah. The only thing missing on this is their licensed games. Like the games they had from like the Disney games.
Like the Disney games.
That's totally understandable, right? Like
those were all like NES games and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they make Alien versus Predator?
AVP?
They might have.
Yeah.
The arcade games.
But anyway, that's fine. I mean, 18 freaking bangers. I think when Mega Man is probably your worst game on there, I don't think you got many problems.
I mean, yeah,
exactly.
That's like like the ceiling is here, your lowest game is like here, and then like the floor is like way down here somewhere. Like it's just like, oh, it's crazy. But that was it. I mean, and what a games list that is, right? And what a games list that is. It's just really, really cool. But we might have somebody to come in right in at the end and talk a little bit more about some stuff and maybe tease us a little bit. So why don't we go ahead and hit this button and welcome Sean Cleaver.
How's it going?
I'm not teasing you with anything. I'm just here going through like my new purchases. You know.
Yeah, you know what it is.
I've got my Cowabunga collection that's come today.
There it is.
Nice.
Yes.
I got all of these Xbox games. You know.
Nice.
I'm just
You know what he's
here.
doing though, eh? He just showed the Cowabunga collection. He's doing research for a potential.
I mean,
Next tease.
I'd love to be, but I left my Switch in the office yesterday.
Wait a
left it on
minute.
charge. I left it.
Wait a minute, Sean.
When am I getting the hoodie, Sean? Is that coming out soon? Thanks, bud.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. What's up with that hoodie?
So
It's
we
getting
made
cold.
these.
It's getting
Well,
cold here in
That's
the States.
awesome.
We made these promotion ones. So it's, got a
Oh, nice.
on the back.
Dude, when can we buy
just
those?
for well, we made them specifically for Gamescom, but maybe we'll get other things. You know,
Oh.
see if there's any interest. But
I want one.
Oh, yeah, it's this thing as well.
4 interested
Oh, of
parties.
course.
right here. Nice. Very cool.
Dude.
Yeah.
Rich, put him on the big screen when he does that.
All right, yeah, we got to spotlight you.
Is that a prototype, Sean?
This is the prototype that you've already mentioned, the IGN video and stuff like that. This is the prototype.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah,
there it goes.
Let's
Oh,
solo
no,
lay
it's
out you real quick.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
must
so no,
be so
I
happy with,
specifically, you can see me in the screen there. I specifically said to Rich, because I know you guys invited me on last week and invited any of us on last week. And yeah, I said to Rich, I don't want to be on there straight away because I know you guys want to have opinions and we'll talk about it and I want to hear them. I don't want you guys to just be like, question at Sean, because I know that's going to happen. So I just wanted to hear what you guys thought. And it's, yeah, it's great to hear the feedback. It makes the last 3 weeks to 2 years of tiring, like behind the scenes stuff worth it. It really
You must
does.
be really happy with the IGN video, Sean.
I mean,
the IGN video was really good.
I mean, I'm really happy with everything that's happened. I mean, the IGN video is a great one
Because they have such a big reach, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, that footage they've got there, they were in our little booth where we were in Gamescom for about an hour playing it.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Nice.
And what was their what was their general feedback? Did they tell you anything that was off camera, like get some good feedback? Or
Literally everything they said on video is what they said to us on and off camera. They liked it. They were surprised with it. They were very, very happy with how it felt when you had the Tate mode in this thing. And then you can hold it that way, whichever way you want. Yeah, no, I think they were incredibly impressed as to where it was. Because you know when you say you like come and check out our prototype, people are like, oh, okay, here we go. It's going to be held together by blue tack and or duct tape or things like that.
Right.
And after 3 days at Gamescom, obviously you are a bit worried, but no, I mean, they absolutely loved it.
Nice. That's very cool. That's awesome. I mean, and it's great to see you guys out there, right? See you guys in these shows. I know you were talking about that a little bit before. We've had you on a couple times, and in each time you're like, yeah, eventually we're gonna get out there and we're gonna get to these shows. And it was really cool to kind of see you guys, making that and being out there.
Ian wants to know how much does the EXP weigh?
I actually don't know off the top of my head what the exact specs is, because whatever I say this is, the actual finished version is going to be a bit lighter because the plastic is going to be a bit more refined and everything else is really done. But there's a good example of the viewing angles, by the way. You can see that.
Yeah, right.
The screen, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's 0.5, 0.6 kilo, maybe.
Huh. Very cool.
Certainly not that bad at all. So, and then yeah, that's the big boy that you guys are all very happy for. Yeah.
Yes. No, that was cool.
So to answer the questions that I know you've all got, the man was an actor. We hired an agency to do the video that I know personally very well, and they also helped us editing together the second anniversary show. So we kind of got them to do both things.
That's cool.
This has been in the works for a while. I'm going to do a behind the scenes look at the video at some point over on our Discord, because the car is the car. It's digitally altered, obviously, to look damaged, but there was a car, and it is the actual Lexus from the Street Fighter 2 bonus stage.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That's so
That
cool.
is so cool. How did you find one of those?
I personally didn't. It was the agency that did it, and he spent ages looking for scrapyards for absolutely destroyed ones. And then he was just walking home one day, and about 3 doors down from his house, it was just sat there, pristine condition like that. It's just like,
Dude, that was brilliant seeing the Evercade on the license plate like that. That was so. That was such a nostalgic throwback to have that in there. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, that's and that was neat. You know, and a good bit of editing too, because you know you got him like actually still in the car when you have that big front, you know, like the full shot. That's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, that's all completely filmed. Like we had the car against a great big green screen, and we filmed him inside the car, and then we filmed him at the bus stop and different things like that. And then a lot of it obviously came together in post production. So
yeah, that was really cool. There was some keen viewers that were commenting on the video that I'd put up when I put up my reaction, noticing things like the Metro City stop on the sign. It's neat. It's cool.
I can take credit for that idea.
Nice.
The other idea that I wanted times on the side, and I wanted it to say 1942, 1943, 1944, because it would have been like a time as opposed to a year. But yeah, the way we did it didn't work out in the end. But that's
cool. They're very neat stuff. Yeah, and you know that's another thing. Like you know all these kind of cool you know marketing vids that wind up going out. They're all fun. It's really neat, and it shows that you guys are actually having fun while doing this.
100%, because you know, I mean, at the end of the day, we've got, like you say, you know, we're a business. We've got to do things. We've got to sell the message and tell people, and you know, the entire aspect of having somebody like me as part of this business is to try and get us as wide an audience as possible. That's why we're at Gamescom. That's why, you know, we invite the IGNs, the Games Radars. That's why I did a 3-hour round trip yesterday Thursday before all the announcements got to Nintendo Live so they could play it, because they weren't able to get out to Gamescom. And we were this close to flying out, and I would have done 4 days, 2 in Seattle and 2 in San Francisco, and we would have seen IGN and another outlet, and we would have seen some influencers as well, potentially, to give them some first digs preview. But I don't know if you know about flights in the UK at the moment. It's an absolute travesty, so we couldn't really get it. But
they're really not going too well out of New York either. So had a family member had like a absolutely nightmarish experience about 2 weeks ago. So yeah.
Well, we did on the way back from Gamescom. We were delayed. We weren't delayed by much, but we were delayed enough that I didn't get home until 3 a.m. on Saturday.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, and then I just had a hectic few days before we were back in the office doing stuff. Like, because you guys got Labor Day this weekend, haven't you? So we had a bank holiday last weekend, and that basically means you don't relax. You just end up having everybody that you know come round to your house, and you have a barbecue, and it's just like very draining after a 3 a.m. re-arrival from a week at Gamescom. But
yeah. Really cool stuff. So I don't know if we were chatting to organize you coming on and hopping on, and you happened to mention something to me about a video. You want to talk about that real quick?
So these have been in the pipeline for a while. All of these have been in the pipeline for a while. We've been working with Capcom to try and make this a reality in some way, shape, or form for the last 2 years. So when people are asking us, do you talk to X? Do you talk to Y? Yes, we do all the time, because we try to make sure, we have these negotiations, we have these contracts and all of these things going on. Sometimes they come together quickly. Sometimes they do take this kind of time to find the right solution. And obviously with Capcom, this is the right solution. But obviously, we plan our business quite far in advance. We knew at a point last year that there was definitely going to be something coming from Capcom, and that there was definitely going to be something coming from IREM. And it was around about the time that we filmed our VS launch trailer video, which was about end of September, I think. And if you've watched that launch trailer video, when they're in the arcade playing all of the stuff, which is probably a bit later on, you can see all of the arcade machines in the background are just random, and all the arcade machines in the foreground are all actual stuff that's actually on the system. So there was a Crystal Castles, there was a Bad Dudes, there was a few other things in there as well. What we also did is we put something at the back, so just in case it happens, there was a hint that there might have been something coming. So right in the foreground shot, after these two have come in, on the right hand side you have Street Fighter, and on the left hand side you have R-Type.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. How did we miss that? That's brilliant. Oh my god.
The thing is, now that's the last thing I could ever do, because you guys are gonna tear apart everything I ever create.
Yes.
But,
yes. So you having that Cowabunga collection in your hands was that, everything means something now. We're gonna overanalyze everything.
Mate,
Well,
you're gonna get F1 2020.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, that was a cool little thing.
And I noticed you used the same actor too. That was in the current.
Different actor actually.
Different?
So different actor, yeah. So completely different
same type of dude.
People that filmed it as well. So
okay.
Yeah, we changed everything about a bit, but yeah, no, it was cool.
That's awesome.
It was cool.
Very
In fact,
neat.
the actor who did it for us, a guy called Chris, immediately after finishing us, his next job is doing some more stuff at the Royal Opera House in London.
Ooh,
oh, wow.
So
That's
yes.
really cool. That's quite the jump, right? Yeah,
very talented man.
To the Opera House.
Yeah,
that's cool. But yeah, no, that's a neat little foreshadowing event. I mean, and it's
yeah.
I'm
I mean, the thing is,
right?
it was so little that if it didn't happen, they're just there in the background.
Mm.
But I love that you thought of that though. It ties everything in. Yeah, that's so great.
Yeah, no, and I'm happy for you guys that all worked out, because then you do get that nice little thing there. That's neat. That's so neat. And I for one, I'm still pumped.
I'm glad you are. I was
Exactly.
I was incredibly. Yeah, they will do that. I mean, to be fair, they were doing it anyway. Like as soon as you guys discovered the Double Dragon clip in the VS launch trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
we all know what happened with that, but yeah,
there was somebody in the fans group on Facebook when it was like one of the initial teasers for something. They picked out a sound effect, and it was like, oh, it's this game. It was almost within 5 minutes of the trailer.
Yeah. I think was that the Saint Dragon one?
It was
Contribes, I thought.
The Common Tribes one.
Yeah, Common Tribes. Yeah.
So, and it was just like that was very, very resourceful community we have here for sure.
Very much. But yeah, while you're on there, I will turn and show you just how easy this all is, because I know you've seen it in the video. So I'm just going to load 1942. I'm just going to try and get to an angle. You can see our new addition, by the way. This is the newest member that came to my family on Monday.
Oh.
This is Venkman.
Oh, Venkman, nice. You won't have any paranormal problems.
Yeah. So here we go. I'm going to start 1942. I'm going to load up some creds. Oh, I got it on Pixel Perfect. Hang on. Let's change the display settings.
Is that a new theme in the background?
That's the wireframe theme that's currently on there. But that's what the main theme of the EXP is going to be at the moment. So
I was going to say that's the theme I always use for everything.
Yeah. So I'm going to turn it, and there we go.
Nice.
Very cool.
I mean, obviously, it's quite difficult holding this to show you guys how to do it without crashing.
Yeah.
And every time I showed a journalist, I did do that thing. They said it in the IGN review. I basically went, let me press that button, and then that happened. And I'll pass the console to them, and then they'd immediately die. But yeah, it's that simple.
Is that Tate button just disabled in games that don't support it? Or
nope, it works for everything. So if you want to be an absolute chaos merchant and play something really random in that ratio, you can. Or if you want to play some of our older handheld 8-bit games like Dedius and Chainbreak and things like that, and like play them in, you can do that as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, good for that.
Nice.
That's really neat.
Dude.
Really neat.
Yeah,
So, So does any of the panel have anything for Sean?
Or are we all too drained after?
Yeah. Yeah.
I did watch all of your reaction videos, of course.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm with Ryan. Next time there's a retro KillDashNine screen, we'll probably like put it on loop and stick it somewhere. might change it to a ringtone or.
Dude, that makes me so happy because that's my genuine reaction. I don't try not to do that, so I love that you all notice these things.
It'll be
the
the new arcade boot up screen.
Yeah, and I mean, Pete's reaction was good as well. It was kind of like, I knew it was something, didn't know it was that something.
Yeah,
I had no idea, and then like the feedback I was getting, and then I had to answer all the complainers. So I put another video out, a little clickbaity, but hopefully that worked out well.
it's all good.
But no, I knew there was something coming because
we don't hype up for like that unless we have something coming. You're right.
Yeah, I know. You guys usually keep you guys don't overhype, right? This one, when Ryan was excited about it, like what he was announcing, like that, like when an engineer gets excited about anything that's not bits and bytes, there's something good coming, right? So when
you say that, but he might have just said, "I've put a screensaver mode in" or something. And the Matrix
he's such a nerd, right? Like he's such a nerd. But
I believe Ryan said, like in the Discord, he's like, "Guys, prepare to put your brown pants on."
Yeah, so like he was too excited for this, so I knew something big was coming. But to get the company that kind of defined arcade gaming for 15 years, I mean that's huge, right? And people keep like, there's never been a home console ever that's had 18 pack-in games. People keep forgetting about that. 18. This is not a mini console. This is a console that has an ecosystem of carts that's growing. There's 18 freaking games on it. You could forget all your carts at home and play this like legitimately for hundreds of hours.
Yeah, it's and yes, Ryan, it is going to be a pub lunch on Tuesday, no doubt.
Fish and chips.
Ryan will get fish and chips. He always gets fish and chips.
Nice.
Or a mixed grill. Yeah, no, it's one of those things that I was trying to think back because obviously, we look at the history of retro and look at the history of consoles and try and work out how many built-in games are on anything. I think the most I could find was probably 2, not counting anything that was a secret engineer thing in like the SG-1000 or things like that. I think certain Master System 2s had like I think they had like Alex Kidd and Hang On, or Alex Kidd and something else. Most of them definitely had Alex Kidd. I think there was a couple of NES ones that might have had a Duck Hunt built in or something like that, potentially, maybe. I can't remember that.
The NES never had a built-in game.
Never had a built-in.
Sega Master System the first version had a snake game in it. But
it was a snail game. It was a maze snail game.
Yeah.
NES never had built-in games in the markets I know of, which is Europe and North America.
Yeah.
You've always
I think the most
legit question. Anyone wants to know any more surprises for the 6 bundles?
So there's nothing being announced, I think, unless it's being announced by Funstock. You'll have to check with them. But what I would say is September 6th, pre-orders open for the EXP in white with IREM and the Capcom built in. Comes with a Capcom manual. The limited edition reopens for any cancellations, changes of circumstance, things that we've done in order to stop scalping and things like that. That will reopen on the 6th as well, but the time is a closely guarded secret. The only way you can get it is to log on, or is to sign up to the mailing list for Funstock, and they're going to tell you when the time reopens. So if you want to get it, you can. It's going to be first come, first served. It's going to be very quick, I think, as well. And I believe they've probably tweeted about it or something like that, but it's on the bottom of the email that we sent. So feel free to go through that and find the link and put your email address in, and Funstock will email you the exact time that will go back on order.
Nice.
Here you go, guys. You heard it here first.
Hey, Sean, I'm assuming this is right, but the Founders, or whatever it is, the black one and the white one are both releasing on the 24th, correct?
Correct. There might be an occasion, because obviously with international orders, Funstock are known to release stuff that goes further earlier if it's in stock. So it's possible that some people might get the limited edition sooner than everybody else because of the nature of the distribution. It would have to be something we'll see. Like it happens as it happens, really. It's not something we can prepare or plan.
Yeah.
Oh no, get it early.
Yeah, Blaze has been kind of known to, or not Blaze, but Funstock has been known to kind of do that with the carts lately. I've been lucky enough in the States to get my carts like 4 or 5 days before stream. And
we will like tell them off if it's ridiculously early. I think there was one that was like 2 weeks early, and that was a miscommunication or something with the distributor warehouse that sent it. So it's kind of like, yeah, this is going to annoy a lot of people if you do that again. So please don't. And it amazes us how quickly you guys get stuff over there from us. Like, I mean, even last year when we sent stuff to Canada, like when we sent the VS over to this old YouTube channel. It was an Evercade, folks. I can't remember what it was called now, but that guy got it really quickly.
Yeah, that's right. I'm expecting that guy should be expecting with his new channel is soon too.
I think for our VSs, when we found out on a Saturday for the Founder Edition, like I know, like me and Rich got ours like mid that next week. Like it was pretty quick from Funstock.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. Yeah, the one thing I will say with the shipping, obviously, I think I said this in the last one, and we were saying that we sorted our shipping issues out. I mean, a lot of the issues weren't us. A lot of the issues were the state of the world. Obviously, as you know, if anything happens at all in this process, we are the first to tell you. I even had to kind of explain this to a few people at Gamescom who were journalists. I was like, no, we're not crowdfunded. We're not like, we have to make money, so we have to tell people what's going on. We have to communicate these things. We can't just sit there on the back of a crowdfunded site and not have anything. So we are honest, and we will tell you, and we will tell you what's going on. So if anything happens, you'll know. The main change is that we are not using sea freight this year. We're actually eating into our sort of overall thing with this to air freight it, which cuts down the days that it takes for it to get to distribution, probably by about 60 to 80 days quicker.
Wow.
Nice.
So that's when people are saying, oh my God, it's coming this year. That's one of the reasons that we can do it this year, because we just decided to go that route, because you're right. We don't want to repeat it last year. Last year was absolutely horrible. It wasn't our fault, but nobody wants to repeat of that. And
that's what I said earlier. Like, y'all figured it out. You know what you can control, and that's awesome. We're also happy to get it, like, November. So.
Hey, Sean, when is the big players, like the big, I guess, YouTubers, gonna get it? A couple weeks early? Like let's be honest, Metal Jesus does a lot for small retro companies when he likes a product, and like Evercade. Like when can we expect those reviews to drop? Because a lot of people do tune in and watch that and make decisions on purchases, good or bad, out of those channels, right?
I think you'll probably get the reviews landing, as in like when you actually see the reviews, the Friday before. Obviously then you got the weekend, and then you'll get it next week if you've already ordered, or if people are looking to order, they'll buy it over the weekend, hopefully. But probably about a week and a half to 2 weeks before it releases, we'll aim to get some kind of press coverage out and get everything else going on.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because like when it's like 30 or 45 days before the official launch, it kind of tends to like like people forget after they watched it that they might not order it right away. But if they know, hey, if I order it now, I'll get it in 2 weeks, they'll probably.
And we're in a much different place than we were like this time 2 years ago. This time 2 years ago, we slowly dribbled out quite a lot of reviews, because we got the stock and would send it to people, and it would grow, and we were trying to grow our name. I'm not saying we're established now, but we're certainly in a place where we can actually control, like, putting the reviews out at the right time, so that it generates the best amount of noise for people that are interested in seeing what it's about, and also for us in getting the notoriety of the device out there. So hopefully this year it will be a real nice kind of thing that if you've already got it pre-ordered, you're going to be like, what's the reviews? Maybe I won't read the reviews at all. Maybe I'll just wait for it, or whatever, really. But
Yeah, it's cool. I like what Douglas said. He appreciates us. He trusts us more than Metal Jesus. The only reason I bring up Metal Jesus is he has a huge footprint. If you look at some of the Evercade videos he's done, it's like 600,000-700,000 views. So
Yeah.
And I want him to cover it because I want Sean to swim in gold coins and Ryan to be swimming in gold coins.
Well,
Yeah.
You know, I do. I want you guys.
I did appreciate the Scrooge McDuck reference earlier.
Yeah, exactly right. Who doesn't like DuckTales? That cartoon got me through college, man.
But yeah, no, yeah. Who knows? It's probably going to be around about that kind of time.
So Sean, I have a quick question. I know we've been overshadowed. So now that we've got Capcom, I wonder now if you can go back to Activision and be like, hey guys, we got Capcom. You guys want to jump on this too and get that 600 cart?
Yeah, I mean, we're always like I said, we're always in contact with these people, whether it's Activision, Namco, anybody else that we want to try and either have more collections with, have new relationships with, and push this through. I mean, one of the things that, as you've said this entire time, is that this does open doors, and you know, the response that we've got is already opening doors. One of the great things that we actually managed to do with Gamescom is that we actually managed to meet some of the people we have been working with over the last 2 years who were able to, you know, properly understand us, properly get where we're coming from, properly see everything that's going on in this. It forges stronger relationships in what happens. So it's definitely going to be an interesting 2023. And I know there was a question earlier, I can't remember if it was from Ian or from Dan, but we are looking to try and keep that 12 cart average going on every year. If there's more that happens, then great. If not, you know, there's probably going to be something going on.
Awesome.
We'll try and keep it balanced between the series of the different color schemes now. There's going to be, obviously, you know, you already know there's going to be another Tower Plan collection. You already know there's going to be other home computer collections coming. Otherwise, why would we have started a blue line?
Right.
And there's several home console stuff that we can still do. There's potential second carts. There's potential third carts. We were going to do a third collection this year, but the timing and everything else has kind of fallen through a little bit on that. And you know, understandably so, trying to get the EXP out of the door. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's basically our plan, and I think it's going to be interesting. I saw there was the other question there about what I think people are going to really enjoy from this in November when they open it. And I think actually people are really going to enjoy the feel of it and the screen, and it's sort of like an amalgamation of it. But one of the things I kind of said in the Discord yesterday was it's odd that holding this actually feels retro. Like you feel nostalgic holding it. And I can't place it myself, but like when you hold a Switch, it's a bit too modern than anything else. And people always ask, why didn't you go for a bigger screens? And it's because we've kind of got something with this form factor that's quite connective, quite portable, quite easy to play, not too uncomfortable at all for an elongated period of time. Even doing this and playing it with the Tate mode isn't too hard for an elongated period of time either. There's just something about it that just feels particularly nice and connected to whatever nostalgia people have. So I think that's what's going to surprise people the most when they do it. It's kind of like it feels like they've always had it in their hands.
That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that because, like, for a while I've been looking at maybe getting one of those Capcom collections on my PS4, and I was like, oh, there's just something missing. And I'm like, yeah, just to have that on the Evercade to be able to play that nostalgia is going to be great, and it'll always be there. So yeah, the other thing I want to say too, Sean, I don't know if y'all meant to do this, but in a way, like you've shown respect and tribute to the initial handheld by having the Capcom collection, because the initial handheld, you know, had the Namcos coming out, and so now we have another tribute. So I don't know if y'all meant to do that, but
it might be because there's no analog sticks on that thing, because everything since like the 3DS and the PSP, they've tried to implement some sort of 3D analog into the handheld. So
and sometimes that works and sometimes that doesn't. I mean, the IGN video made a good point about the Switch, and the one thing we kind of said about the Switch when we've talked to each other about things like that is that, you know, it can be after a while quite cumbersome to hold depending where you are, what your angle is, where your hands are, and things like that. And you know, that's always going to be a problem with any kind of handheld device. So Yeah,
Nice.
and Ryan is right. The new screen does actually help quite a lot. The fact that it's the same size, probably might be disappointed.
I need these things on the Switch to play it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's crazy. But what else? So what else I think is great, and that's what I was saying, like about how I think it's important in Capcom, because other than like finding Pete and Rich and hearing about the Evercade, one of the things that got me sucked into it was like the Namcos and Ataris. So now I'm hoping that now a new generation will see Capcom, and then those people can get we'll get sucked into it. So. That's why I think this is really, really important. And I've said, we do all love the weird and different games. It's great to have some, to have like the nostalgia games that we all love too. Like you can have both. Both can exist. Everything can exist in the Evercade ecosystem.
No, definitely. I mean, everything can exist together, and everybody's always open to their choice of what they want to purchase, what they want to buy, and what they want to enjoy. And we're glad we're in the conversation.
Never said never. Yep. Yes.
Well, man, that announcement is definitely a testament to that, right? Yeah, to never say never. So,
of course, we're still here.
Yeah, and good. I mean, now that light is shining through the crack on that door, and the door's starting to open a little bit.
Yeah.
Now it's up to us, right? It's up to the community, right? We need to take this now and then run with it, and then get 10, 20, 30 more of our friends to just keep going and roll this thing along so that the doors just blow open, and then we're swimming in a sea of games.
I mean, I would still say that's still my job in order to get more people to shout about it and know about it. But we've both given ourselves a massive advantage by putting 18 Capcom games built into the device, and you can just go, you can just go Street Fighter, Final Fight,
right?
Come on,
for sure, so absolutely.
It does make it a lot more of an easy set. And then you could just go, but look, R-Type, you can do it.
The built-in games, there's a nice mix of genres in there.
Yeah. Well, and that's another good thing about that collection is you're right. You're right, Crow. It is, there's action, there's shooters, there's RPGs, there's fighting games, there's beat 'em up.
It's like a mainstream Pico collection. It's like it's like the one collection you would always want to have with you. Like you'll always go back. There'll always be something to play. You won't get sick of it, in my opinion, because Capcom is like that awesome. So yeah,
for sure. I mean, it's well done.
Thank you. I mean, it's like as Ryan and as everybody else has probably said across Discord and here and everything else. This is a massive team effort on our part, and we. I mean, some of us are on holiday this week, some of us aren't, some of us go on holiday soon. I know some people think I have holiday all the time. I don't. I have occasional days here and there. But I'm very much looking forward to having a nice week off where I can sit and play. I don't know. Maybe I'll play Rally Fusion, Race of Champions or something. I don't know.
Nice.
There you go.
Actually, we talked a little bit about this earlier, and I was just kind of curious, too, about that. Why that? I mean, that's a great version of Street Fighter 2, the hyper fighting.
It is. It's also the one that we like. It's also the one that's incredibly challenging when you get to a point as well. I mean, here's the thing about when we curate and when we have game difficulty and things like that. It's very, very fast. I mean, I'll show you how fast it is in a second, but it's so super smooth and it works so well on the EXP. We had to have it. It is very difficult, and a lot of people's connective memory of Street Fighter is going to be probably a console version.
Yes,
this is going to be something so familiar but incredibly foreign. And Ryan is right. I do suck at Street Fighter, but it's one of these things where there might be some people that might bounce off that straight away because of how difficult it gets pretty quickly. But if you change anything on that, you're going to annoy the people that do know what they're on about, and it will be like, So it's like, you know what? Let's keep it. Let's keep it as it is, and let's see if to borrow a phrase, if people can get good at it.
Good.
Because
nice.
See, that's so awesome to hear, because we were that's what kind of talking earlier. Because I remember like when the Super Nintendo came out, we had Championship. And then I remember when Hyper Fighting, I immediately got that because that was the upgraded, faster version where you could be the bosses. And that's what I was kind of hoping, that there are a lot of people who identify that played the console version, and we get the arcade version. We've all played in the arcade, so awesome.
I'll try and do this so you can see properly on the screen just how fast it is and how smooth. It's very hard playing it. Well, I managed to get her
like,
taken off.
I don't know how you're playing it like that.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
Taking it to Guile.
That runs buttery smooth.
Well, this is the thing. The first level of this, you will basically win the first thing because it basically gives you a free round, a free
I think
pass.
you're overestimating my abilities in the game.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
that's what the arcade
well,
does.
no.
That's how they bait you in. You get the first easy opponent, like Mortal Kombat fighting games do that, and then it gets super difficult. You're like, what?
I showed this to somebody who is a member of the Street Fighter fighting game community, journalist crowd who's covered all the esports and everything else when we were at Gamescom, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I remember this one. This one gives you the free pass on round one, and then it just absolutely slams you."
That's awesome.
That's excellent. Lots of replay. Yes.
I really enjoy Street Fighter, and there's a good many of them that I learned to kind of just play through and blow through. But one that's going to give me a challenge, especially
this
now
will give
that I
you a
haven't played it
challenge
in a while. I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be really cool.
This will give everybody a challenge, and the one thing that we did, and we purposefully did, is we let people play that game at Gamescom, because the one thing, even though this was a prototype and the buttons aren't final, we know the one thing people are going to be saying is, can I do a Hadouken pretty easily on this? Can I do this? Can I do that? And then they could.
Nice.
But I won't tell you that it took us 3 weeks to get to the bonus stage for the footage for the trailer.
That's good to know about the dip switches, because I know I've been asking that for a while. That's good that y'all are.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, we're still here, Al.
Yeah, we're still hanging out. We're still hanging in. I mean, it is running a little long, so we're probably going to wrap pretty soon. But yeah, thanks for being here, Al. Also, I just wanted to dip in before it gets buried in the chat, which has been rocking today. Thank you again so much, everyone, for coming in here and hanging out with us. This has been a legendary show.
It really has.
And I just want to make sure that I thank every single one of you that are in the chat. But Dan, thank you. My palpitations have now subsided. Thank you for confirming that you did get that box.
Yeah.
Good. I sent it away nearly a month and a half ago in the post, and I was like, I don't know. Did Dan get it? Did Dan not? Did those games get eaten by like some kind of genie? I don't know what's going on, but I'm very glad that you did get the package and that you're enjoying your games. Yeah, I did throw a couple extra in you because it was just too long. It was too long.
Hey,
so you did get some extra.
Check this out. So I'm sure, as you know, that me and Rich have a secondary channel. Sometimes we joke and we call it Evercast too. But yeah, looks like Ian said you should join us on Calling All Retro Gamers sometime.
I think I might have said at some point that I wouldn't mind coming on that, because obviously you can see all the stuff behind.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah. Dude, we'd love to talk.
We would genuinely have a lot
to
to
do a special time for you, though.
Yeah.
We normally go off at 9 p.m. EST on a Thursday night. So that's a little
when was the last time? It came up on my feed on Thursday. I think it was like 2:00 in the morning or something like that. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I could make it up, but my wife would kill me.
We'll move it to a weekend.
Who are you
talking to? That's a
at
great
3 in the
idea,
morning?
Sean. We need to do that and just.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It'd be good to just chat random retro. That'd be cool. Very, very cool.
I mean, I could tell you about the fact that I've currently been importing Densha to Go PS2 games. Now I've got a Japanese PS2 that I fixed.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
I can tell you about the fact that I still don't have a Super Nintendo yet. I've been importing the entire Japanese SNES F1 games library.
Wow. Okay.
There's a lot.
That's kind of like me and my Saturn games. I've been slowly grabbing Japanese Saturn games to put it in a Polymega I don't have. But yeah,
I can tell you that I played one of those quite recently.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Very cool. Yeah.
I mean, it's nowhere near as good as Evercade, obviously.
Of course not.
Well, Polymega is perfect for discs. The Evercade can't.
It is pretty perfect for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You never know. Maybe you'll get an Evercade CD deck at some point. Who knows?
Oh yeah, that's my prediction. 23.
It'd be like the same
All right. Well, all right, guys. So why don't we jump into the final thoughts? We'll wrap up here a little bit. Anyone else got some cool stuff going on? Or
actually, I was just noticing that on the Funstock website, I checked out the Evercade EXP limited edition thing just to see if it mentions the Capcom collection at all, and it doesn't. However, the image shows the manual for the Capcom collection.
Yeah, the image got updated. I don't think the copy is updated until Monday before it re-ups again. So, but actually, if you are on that page, if you look down, there is a bit that says about a waiting list on that listing, I think.
Yes, I remember hearing about it.
There you go. I'll drop this in the private chat for you guys. So if you want to share it, you can.
Oh yeah, it's right up under the sold out. So, do you want to miss out? Do you miss out?
Yeah.
Join the waiting list here, or did you miss out?
Yeah. But if you join that that email list, you'll basically get an email telling you when it's going to go on sale on Tuesday. So if you missed out, you've got another opportunity.
There we go. Yep.
That's cool.
Nice.
And it's really cool that that there is that ability for those, however small the amount there will be to kind of jump in there and get in.
I mean, obviously last year we waited until a long time after everything had gone before we got onto that. And, this year we were at the ability that we can do it ahead of time, but also that we can do other things as well, and maybe there'll be another reopening of stuff like we did at the back end of last year. Who knows? But we got the ability to do it now, so Funstock will be there. Funstock will let us know what is and what isn't available, and we'll say, well, yeah, let the people have it.
Very cool. So if you guys are itching to get in there, make sure you get on that list, and then get in there and get your chance. First come, first serve. So that's cool. All right, awesome. So now, anyone have anything that's coming on their channels? Anything cool, neat?
Oh, I have something coming out Tuesday. We'll leave it as a surprise.
All right.
Yeah.
Surprises on Evercade Effect. Make sure also.
I do want to say that I
do
do appreciate the love of the community and the recent increase in subs and people checking out my shorts and all that. So very much all appreciated.
It's very cool. We're having fun with it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What about you, Pete? You got some stuff?
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank the entire community. If anybody's here who's been supporting the channel, I started my YouTube channel up 2 months ago. The EverCanadian started 2 months ago, and I just hit 500 subs and growing quickly. It is an Evercade focused channel, so I want to thank everybody. I think it's at least 2 or 3 Evercade videos a week going out, so doing stuff differently over there. So I want to thank everybody for the support. And it's been
awesome.
Pretty awesome growing the channel and doing a lot of different types of content that I'm doing over there. So thanks everybody. And I've got tons of Evercade videos coming up. My shorts on Evercade are like going nuts. It's crazy. Like I've got tons of little Evercade shorts coming up. I've got 30 Evercade shorts already filmed that will be coming up in the next probably 2 weeks. So tons of little stuff, weird stuff like that. So, but again, big thanks to everybody who supported the channel and subscribe. Community tab will be up soon, whenever I get that approved, and I got something cool planned for the community tab. So,
awesome,
nice.
I just need like 4. I think I just need like 60 or so more subs, and I'll get my community tab. So come on, people.
That's true. That's very
cool.
It'll
come, buddy. It'll come. Trust me. Good content always gets rewarded.
That's right. Oh, that's pretty.
Thankman.
Saying hi.
That's awesome.
All right. Awesome, Crow. What's going on?
Well, I am in the middle of working on another video for the Gremlin collection, Brainbender. I got sent down a huge rabbit hole concerning the legacy of that game. So that was kind of weird that I ran across that. But I might have to put that on hold to work on a bunch of pinball stuff that is brand new.
Nice.
And is coming out soon.
Very cool. So, liking that.
That's probably what I'll be spending the whole weekend working on, the extended weekend, as well as cleaning up the backyard. Because when I cleaned out my office at work, it's still like in boxes just behind me. I never put anything away. Nice.
All right, awesome. Very cool. Lots of cool stuff to look forward in the Crow Continue verse. And then over here on Bacon Ice Cream Productions, we do have a little bit of time that I can actually do some stuff. So, as advertised previously a week ago, this coming week, if I can actually get it done during this holidays time, will be the Evercade Arcade Takeover, where I'm going through Monday through Friday, Evercade Arcade collections, just rifling through them all, fun for fives, be there. It's going to be awesome. And then also, just as a little tidbit, specifically for Bacon Ice Cream Productions viewers and fans or whatever, and people that like to hang out, I got an image from a buddy who's been working on a project that we've been working on for months. And it is so close. And I cannot wait to share it with you. So as soon as that thing is going to arrive in a box and I can show it to you guys, as soon as that thing kicks off, we're going to be hot to trot here on Bacon Ice Cream Productions. So don't you dare miss a minute of things once I start showing you some stuff about this. I'll tease it again as soon as I get the box here on the Evercast to make sure that everyone gets involved. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be amazing.
It's that one thing
for a great cause.
It's that one thing that you told me, right?
It is for that one thing.
Okay, cool.
So
that's what I
keep
thought.
it locked here. You want if you're new here and you've stumbled upon this on the replay and you're still here, thank you again for watching. Thank you for this amazing chat, and also make sure you hit that button, hit that red button to get reminded anytime we come back for some more Everkid goodness, right? And go show everybody else love too.
You know, my red button does this.
Hey, yo, Dave!
Don't hit.
Hey, yo, Dave!
Don't hit the don't hit the mayonnaise button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell. Hit the likes. All that kind of stuff.
I don't know what's going on. My button's not doing anything.
All right, awesome guys. Well, thank you guys all so much. Keep it locked here. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, buddy.
See ya.